Some new disturbing details have emerged regarding the firing of X-Men 97 showrunner Beau DeMayo. Before we get to this, I'd like to ask you, please hit that subscribe button, hit that bell for notifications so you don't miss any of our future videos here at the Trent Report. Wrote this up over at thatparkplace.com. Before we get into the new details, let's kind of go over the timeline of what happened, and then we'll get into these new details. It was reported in March that DeMayo was fired and he would, quote, no longer be promoting the show or moving forward with future seasons. The report detailed that DeMayo's company email was shut down at the beginning of March, and cast and crew for the series were notified he would no longer be working on the project. DeMayo also shut down his Instagram account at the time. The firing came after DeMayo had reportedly completed writing a second season and was preparing a third season. However, Marvel Animation's Brad Winderbaum rejected these claims, telling Entertainment Weekly, "I can't talk about the details, but I can say that Beau had real respect and passion for these characters and wrote what I think are excellent scripts that really the rest of the team were able to draw inspiration from to build this amazing show that's on screen." He then specifically rejected the claim that DeMayo was fired. When asked if he would describe DeMayo's departure as a firing, he said this, "I don't. We parted ways is the best way I could say." However, recently, DeMayo indicated he was indeed fired and that he was fired over a gay pride post that he posted to Instagram depicting himself as a member of the X-Men team. He wrote this, "Firstly, I'm so grateful to have worked on X-Men 97, collaborating with some amazingly talented folks. Creating this revival was a dream come true, and the support fans have shown is so touching. However, I felt it pressing for me to speak up in the wake of leaving the show." Above his X-Men fan art I posted on Instagram for Gay Pride in June. On June 13, Marvel sent a letter notifying me that they'd stripped my season 2 credits due to the post. Sadly, this is the latest in a troubling pattern I suffered through while working on X-Men 97 and Blade. I'll have more to say soon, but must take a step back from social media to find a safer space for me to be out, proud, and nerdy. Stay tuned. So obviously indicating that he says here that he left. Obviously, what does he say here? Left the show, leaving the show. So he's basically saying he left the show, but then he said he posted this, and then that is when they decided to remove his or strip him of his season 2 credits due to the post. So that is what he is saying specifically. Marvel Studios responded to this accusation from DeMayo, telling Variety this. Mr. DeMayo was terminated in March following an internal investigation. So they are making it very clear he was indeed fired in March, contradicting what Brad Winderbaum had previously told Entertainment Weekly, and also refuting what DeMayo is saying here regarding him leaving. They are saying that they terminated him following an internal investigation in March 2024. Given the egregious nature of the findings, we severed ties with him immediately, and he has no further affiliation with Marvel. So they're saying that the findings were egregious, had egregious nature. Sounds very damning, but again, they provide absolutely zero details on what the nature of the findings are. We did get some rumors at the time from Variety's Adam B. Very and Katzy Steffen. The duo shared this. A source with knowledge of the investigation said evidence was discovered of sexual misconduct and that DeMayo repeatedly violated his termination agreement, which led to the removal of his credits for season 2. So that is what Variety's source informed them and that they reported. So DeMayo fired back at this. Despite claiming he was taking a step back from social media, he responded saying, "The truth will be revealed after their Disney Plus disaster. Marvel wants to mislead with alleged contract breaches over tweets. It's tragic. It's done. It's come to this, but unsurprising. Stay tuned." So no clue what he's talking about there when he's saying Disney Plus disaster. We do know the ratings for this show were absolutely abysmal. No one was watching it perform worse than What If, when the Disney Plus subscription service, the streaming service, had less actual subscribers. That's how badly this show did. And that obviously reflects poorly on him too, right? Because he was the showrunner up until he was fired in March, and the show had already been completed, or one would assume it had been completed up till then, although we do know that Marvel does like to do things in post after they release their first episode. So who knows? Nevertheless, he added this in another post. saying this is their Disney Marvel's usual playbook, legal letters, as well as other items to prove their their long-standing pattern to follow. It's about finding a safe outlet. Thanks for your faith and patience. So that is what he had to say there. I don't think that he was probably removed. The season 2 credits were removed over this gay pride Instagram post. They seem utterly ridiculous. We know Marvel posts these posts and celebrates disordered lifestyles, and it's the ideological movement surrounding it all the time. Here's an example from the end of May where they're promoting their Marvel Voices Pride one-shot. We also know that they do Pride Nights in their theme parks. So this idea is just utterly ridiculous. The voice actor for Morph has come out and confirming that he is a radical queer activist. We had original X-Men animated series creators who worked on X-Men 97 coming out and defending Morph and transgender ideology and all of that as well in interviews. So I just don't buy into this idea that he lost his season 2 writing credit or whatever credit it happens to be over that post. So these are the new details here, though. So I think DeMayo's story doesn't really add up whatsoever, but I don't trust Disney either, given the fact they clearly unjustly fired Gina Carano and she's currently in the middle of a lawsuit with them. So I don't trust either of these people. It just doesn't, none of what they're saying actually makes sense at all. Does not make sense whatsoever. But this is what Jeff Snyder at the Insider reports with these new details on why DeMayo was indeed terminated. And he said this: I'm told that DeMayo sent nude photos of himself, or at the very least, photos of himself in various states of undress, to several young male staffers. Some of these photos allegedly featured DeMayo wearing superhero costumes and striking sexually suggestive hero poses that could be used as inspiration for the show. DeMayo was asked to stop sending such photos, but I'm told that he persisted nonetheless. An anonymous individual told Snyder this: if you were a guy who looked like they could be under 30 on that show, X-Men 97, you have his nudes whether you wanted them or not. Snyder also shared that DeMayo allegedly groped an assistant on multiple occasions and that he was both emotionally and physically abusive to staffers, though I don't have any specific incidents to share on that front. So that is what Jeff Snyder is reporting as to why he was fired. He did add some more information that the reason why he was fired from Marvel is also similar to why he was let go from Netflix's The Witcher property. And he went on to note that Marvel Animation's Brad Winterbaum did not do his due diligence when hiring DeMayo because he should have known what went on at Netflix, and he did not discover that whatsoever. Finally, Snyder shared that DeMayo is losing his executive producer credit for season 2, but he will still retain a writing credit, albeit Marvel is apparently, quote, rewriting most of season 2, according to Jeff Snyder. So those are the most recent alleged details regarding Beau DeMayo. Again, unclear exactly what happened, but this does indeed seem to maybe add up to what Marvel and what Disney is saying about the egregious nature of their findings, that he was indeed sexually harassing people. He was obviously sexting people, it looks like, and kind of acting as a voyeur and an expositionist through his communications with people on the staff. And that's absolutely disgusting and should not be tolerated. But at the end of the day, this is what comes when you embrace disordered lifestyles, when you embrace this ideology. One has to wonder how many other people at Marvel, at the Walt Disney Company, are doing this, because we do indeed know that this company obviously promotes a lot of this behavior through its television shows, through its movies, through its entertainers and cast in the parks as well. So I doubt that this will be an isolated incident. I bet that there's probably lots of other individuals that engage in this type of activity, if this is indeed the activity that DeMayo was engaging in, that work at the Walt Disney Company. But let me know what you guys make of this. What do you make of these new details regarding Beau DeMayo's termination and firing from the Walt Disney Company from X-Men 97? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to always be charitable, especially to each other, but to always speak the truth.